Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Venerable monks and dear friends in Dhamma, we are going to start Sutta study class online today. Today is March 26, Thursday, 2020. We conduct this class as a virtual Dhamma class because many of you stay home because of the pandemic COVID-19, and many of our Dhamma friends stay in good health and safe. So we need Dhamma to rely on at this difficult situation. Therefore, we discuss more Dhamma to get blessings and also to give blessings. In thinking about a particular discourse that could give us so much blessing, my mind directly went to the Ratana Sutta, which is the discourse Buddha delivered for many people during his time for overcoming suffering. So Ratana Sutta is the significant discourse that everybody take in, especially at difficult situation, for recitation and also listening. So today let's try our best to understand the meaning of this Ratana Sutta and how could we get blessings out of understanding each verses of it. I think many of our friends have known to this particular discourse, especially during chanting on New Year and many other occasions. I know that Buddhists from Theravada countries know about this discourse because, as I said, it is recited at every special occasions. However, I know the fact that many people do not know the right meaning of it. Perhaps people know about the background story just because it is said everywhere quite often. But our purpose today is to know each and every single information about Ratana Sutta for our understanding. You know what? This is the discourse that many Buddhists recite these days to receive blessing and also give blessings to those who are sick. In our temple, from this place, myself and Bhante Sunita have been reciting this Ratana Sutta along with another for now 12 days. Likewise, each temple in Canada and each temple in Sri Lanka, everywhere in the world, recite this particular discourse because Buddha did it 2500 years ago for the same purpose. So it is very important to understand this discourse today. During the discussion, I would like to draw your attention to very practical situation based on this discussion and also the sutta, and I take some other discourses into the discussion to make it full. Friends, the very meaning of Ratana Sutta means jewel discourse, the discourse on the jewelry or gems or gold These are the valuable things we have in our life. Even in the divine world, devas or divine beings consider these things are valuable. They like to wear them, and they decorate their body with these beautiful things according to the stories from the divine realms. Um, no need to say that human beings like this. We can see that gold, gems, and jewelries and all kinds of those things are given high regard by each and every human beings, except those who destroy the craving desire for it. Everybody has that nature. So why this discourse called Ratana or jewel, discourse of jewel or gems? Let me explain you. Uh, Basically, this discourse is explain the great qualities of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. So the Buddha is a jewel, the Dhamma is a jewel, and the Sangha is a jewel. Why these three things, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, are considered as jewel, which is a question. I will give you answer and explanations to those important questions during the discussion. Then we can understand why we call triple gem or three jewel. Let me tell you that this discourse is mostly taken from the book called Paritta or chanting, but its original place is in numerical discourses and also the miscellaneous discourses. It's in Pali it's called Kuddaka Pata. So it is a discourse uttered by the Buddha for a specific purpose. We can see some discourses are delivered by the Buddha for answering questions, and some discourses are delivered by the Buddha by thinking himself that this discourse is important for them. And this one is a special one. It's a kind of commanding discourses. Let me give you the background story, then you would really get it. At the time of the Buddha, there was a powerful socialist republic called Vajji. It is in Bihar province in today's India, and the city called Vaishali today. At that time the city was called Visala. So this country is today under various conditions, but at that time it was a prosperous, developed country because there were a lot of people in the committee administration and ruled the country in a very diplomatic way, so people were so happy. However, due to unavoidable reasons, there was a continuous drought. As a result, people could not grow vegetables and paddy, and whatever they do in cultivation for living, they failed in cultivation. As a result, they didn't have enough food to eat, especially for poor people. They got sick, and there was a pandemic in that country as well, like coronavirus today. There was a virus going on. In one way, they got so much problem because of the prevailing drought, and they did not have good food to eat. At the same time, this virus came and attacked them so hard. So poor people were the affected people, and they one after the other died. Even their medicinal stuff could not prevent dying innocent people. The doctors in the country tried hard with herbal medicine, and even the administration, the kings were trying, but nothing worked. Nothing worked at the end. Then as a result, the death toll was so high. Today we have funeral parlors and crematorium and other ways of burying and so forth, but at the time of the Buddha, they did not follow such rule. They have a charnel ground where they put dead body. So the number of people who died was so high, and what people did was taken these dead bodies to the charnel ground and put there. Because of so many people's death, it was a very bad situation there. It is said in the commentary that the ghost came and haunted the whole area where they put the dead body. You may not believe in the first place that how this come into exist, because we don't see ghosts, we don't see any beings like that. Actually, they are invisible for us. In my view, our dimension is not that sharpened to see these invisible living beings, but the Buddha and the Arahants who have developed psychic powers could communicate with them. At least they could see them from their developed dimension. So, however, people could not see these ghosts, but ghosts in huge group came and tried to consume these dead bodies in a way as they take their food. So it is not only the happenings over there. There are some other things happen because of the ghost existence in the city, especially in the charnel ground. People were afraid. People were confused because of the prevailing drought and relatives' death, and at the same time they were so afraid of hearing abnormal noises and sounds, and these abnormal voices and sound came from the ghost. Therefore, they were so fearful about life. They did not have any solace or happiness at all. Therefore, the problem was very difficult to overcome by themselves. So they complained. The city and the whole area was affected by the famine, and then the sicknesses, and then the fear from ghost. So the administration, I would say, the number of kings in the committee tried their best to solve the problem, but they could not. They were looking for other ways of solving the problem, such as religious leaders. They were trying with some sort of gurus and teachers in the country, but they could not overcome the problem. In the meantime, Buddha had visited Vaisali or Visala, the Vajji country, many times. Therefore, those innocent civilians and also the royal palace knew about the Buddha. So one of them suggested that we should invite the Buddha, because we know that the Buddha is so powerful. He is so kind and compassionate. Therefore, he has so many spiritual powers in his life. Perhaps he could find a solution for us. Let's invite the Buddha in Rajgir, 70 or 80 kilometers to the north of Vaisali, and they send a messenger. Buddha came to know about the suffering people in Vaisali experience and have compassion, and decided to come not only himself but with Venerable Ananda and some group of monks. It is said in the commentary that there were around 500 arahants, the enlightened monks, most of them were very high regards monks. Then Buddha reached to the Vaisali and stayed at the city hall and taught Venerable Ananda this particular discourse, Ratana Sutta, and asked Venerable Ananda to go around the city sprinkling water into various directions to make the city a better and secure place. Something invisible happened during this scenario. While the Buddha was coming with the group of very high regards enlightened monks, the head of the divine being, which we call Sakka, came to know that Buddha with venerable monks go to Vaisali for rescuing the whole city. Then Sakka with his divine being, maybe a group of divine being, decided to go there through his and their psychic powers, and they were also there. And it is said that the Buddha is there, the Arahants were there, and the divine beings there, headed by the Sakka. Therefore, those ghosts could not hold on to the dead body, hold the charnel ground area and the city area, because the power of the Buddha and the Arahants and the divine being was so high. Let me tell you this in with an example, because you may be doubtful how those ghosts could not be there when the Buddha and the divine beings came to the city. You know what? If the president or the prime minister, along with high-rank people of the country, come to a normal gathering for a special thing, just people over there allow them to come forward, leaving and giving them the path. Likewise, those who are morally good and spiritually advanced come into a place, the ghost-like people could not stay there, because their morality, their wisdom are very low. Ghosts rely on some sort of negative emotions. Our spirit is compassion, kindness. Human beings always try their best to maintain humane qualities, but ghosts reborn there because of bad things they did in the previous lives. Now they eat bad things and also create hatred, anger, ill will. So their way of living is with those negative emotions. Therefore, their morality, their whole life system is under suffering. They were cursing always for people or anyone who are happy and so forth. If they can damage us, they could damage us as well. But those who are morally wholesome could not be done anything by those people. That's why those ghosts could not stay there. So in one sense, as soon as the Buddha reached to the city with the Arahants and divine being, exists there, the bad people, bad spirit pushed away from the city, and Buddha delivered the Ratana Sutta, which is powerful sutta, and asked Venerable Ananda to go around the city, invoking blessings everyone by putting water on them. As a result, the nature listened to this. There was a thunder rain after many months, and washed all these dead bodies to the river, and the whole city became clean. So this is the background story of this discourse. Since then, it is said that monks and lay people recite this Ratana Sutta just to give blessings and also receive blessings, because the sutta explain the wonderful qualities of the noble triple gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Without further ado, let's go into the discourse. I think I send you a translation of the discourse. If you had time, uh, you had read the translation. Therefore, you may understand each verses in a simple, normal way. Let me go into the translation. From the very beginning to the end, I would look at it. In the first place, we read the translation just for our understanding. I do not read the Pali version, but the English version. Whatever beings are here assembled, whether terrestrial or celestial, may all these beings be happy and listen closely to my words. Pay attention, all you beings, show kindness to the humans. Day and night they bring you offerings, therefore guard them diligently. Whatever treasures is here and beyond, or precious jewel in the heavens, none is equal to the perfect one, the Buddha. In the Buddha is this precious jewel, by this truth may there be well-being. The calm Sakyan sage found cessation, dispassion, the deathless, the sublime. There is nothing equal to that state. In the Dhamma is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. That purity praised by the Supreme Buddha calls concentration with immediate results. That concentration has no equal. In the Dhamma is the precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. The 8 persons praised by the good, these 4 fairs are the gift-worthy, disciples of the well-gone one, or the Buddha. Gifts to them yield abundant fruit. In the Sangha, in this precious jewel, by this truth may there be well-being. With mind well established, free from sense pleasures, firm in Gautama's teaching, on attaining their goal, they plunge into the deathless, freely enjoying the perfect peace they have gained. In the Sangha, in this precious jewel, by this truth may there be well-being. As a post firmly grounded in the earth cannot be shaken by the 4 winds, so is the superior person, I say, who definitely sees the noble truth. In the Sangha is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. Those who comprehend the noble truths, well taught by the Buddha of deep wisdom, even if they were slightly negligent, would not take an 8th existence. In the Sangha is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. For one who has attained to vision, 3 states are at once abandoned: view of self, doubt, and clinging to needless rules and rituals. Freed from the 4 states of misery, he cannot do 6 kinds of evil deeds. In the Sangha is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. Though one might do some evil deed by body, speech, or mind, he cannot hide it. Such is impossible for one who has seen the truth. In the Sangha is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. Like woodland grows in blossom in the first heat of summer, so is the most excellent Dhamma that he taught, leading to Nibbana, the highest good. In the Buddha is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. He, the best one, the Buddha, the best one, beyond compare. Knower, he is the knower, a giver and bringer of the best. taught the most excellent Dhamma in the Buddha is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. Their past is extinct with no new arising. Their minds not drawn to future birth. Their old seeds destroyed. Their desires no more growing. The wise go out just like this lamb. In the Sangha is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. Whatever beings are here assembled, whether terrestrial or celestial, gods and human, revere the perfect one, the Buddha. Let us bow to the Buddha, may there be well-being. Whatever beings are here assembled, whether terrestrial or celestial, gods and human, revere the perfect one. Let us bow to the Dhamma, may there be well-being. Whatever beings are here assembled, whether terrestrial or celestial, gods and human, revere the perfect one. Let us bow to the Sangha, may there be well-being. That is the translation of Ratana Sutta. I think you all either listen to me, or you were reading your own copy of the translation, Ratana Sutta. Now I just want to talk about the meaning of this. We start from the beginning. It is said, whatever beings are here assembled, whether terrestrial or celestial, may all these beings be happy and listen closely to my words. So, as soon as Buddha went to the Vaishali and made his seat ready, he started saying this first verse. It is an invitation to all those terrestrial and celestial beings. We know that who are terrestrial, those who live in territory, human beings and the kings who gathered there, and the ministers who were behind the kings, and people, whoever people were there. Not only that, terrestrial means those beings who haunted the charnel ground as well. And celestial, we know these beings are not anybody else but the divine beings headed by the Sakka, the head gods of the divine being. So Buddha requested each terrestrial and celestial beings to be happy. So don't worry, just be happy, be simple, open your mind. So we are also extending friendliness, he said. And he requested another thing there. Please listen to my words. Buddha is going to tell something very important, that when Buddha wants to tell something, the first thing he did was to taking attention from others. He always starts something, monks, I am going to tell this, please listen carefully and remember it. So what a wonderful teacher Buddha is. He knows how to get the attention from any group, any person. One reason, Buddha is so beautiful. His physical body was so attractive, and his way of approach is very gentle, just like a beloved father talks to a son and daughter. The Buddha was able to produce so many blessing words. His words are so soothing and calming. I think this reason made for the Buddha to attract many people around, unlike other religious leaders. So he's telling now, I'm going to tell you something, please listen. The second verse. Pay attention, all you beings, show kindness to human. Day and night they bring you offering, therefore guard them diligently. Basically, now the message is very clear. He is talking to divine being and as well as those ghosts who have already taken the control on the charnel ground and the whole city area. So he is telling that these human beings are kind human beings. They were not that bad. They are very innocent. Now they are powerless because of these three type of fears. What are the three type of fear? The famine, lack of food, lack of necessary consumeric items such as rice and vegetables and other items they eat. Then the pandemic, and the third one is fear that was created because of the ghost. These are the three fears they overwhelmed and suffered a lot. So Buddha said that these people are kind, but now they are helpless because of these three reasons. So show your kindness to them, which is a very powerful statement. You should be so kind to these people, because when they were able, they created different shrine for divine beings and offered them fruits and various other things like flowers and respect you. Now they could not. So therefore, come and help them. This invitation actually is mainly to divine beings, not for the ghosts, because ghosts were doing something bad there. And basically human beings worship the gods and goddesses. So then Buddha asked them to do that. Then he started delivering the noble qualities or virtues of the Buddha himself, and also the Dhamma and Sangha. Why? Because Buddha knew that himself is purified from various ways, and when someone thinks about him, his mind also associate some sort of Buddha qualities. Let me give an example for you for better understanding. Suppose you have a very kind person. Whenever you remember his life, you reflect something good he did. Perhaps he helped the hospital or helpless homeless people, and he had help schools for their station, buildings and so forth. Maybe he has done a great job in increasing social welfare. So when you think about by his name, some of his great qualities come to your mind and you become happy because you also appreciate them. Likewise, when people accept the Buddha as their teacher, he or she can reflect the qualities of the Buddha and bring mind into a very relaxed mode. So that's why Buddha asked people to think about the Buddha. That kind of transformation of their mind could happen. I tell this through experience that it could happen. It doesn't mean that we follow the Buddha blindly. It doesn't mean that we do it just because the Buddha said, but through our experience we know that it brings some sort of confidence about our practice. It is not like following blindly, but I see this from theistic religion as well. Those who practice Christianity and Islam, Hinduism do the same thing. Even though they do not see their Almighty God, by thinking about their God, they could be able to concentrate their mind, which is okay in my view. In Buddhism, Buddha asked to think about the Buddha, but there is a significant thing. Buddha was egoless. He destroyed completely the seed of hatred and greed and ignorance. So we are thinking about someone who has totally eradicated suffering, attachment, anger, ill will. Therefore, this reflection brings the person who thinks into a super state. So we can say uh, uh, there are 18 stanzas in this discourse, and except the first two and the last, uh, mm, including last three, except the first two, 16 stanzas are taken to discuss and deliver the qualities or the virtues of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So we take the first one now. So Venerable Ananda listened to these stanzas, and who listened to it first, now going around the city by singing the noble qualities of the Buddha. Then only good people could stay around that area. The ghosts had to run away from there. And when people listened to these qualities, they were able to regain their lost concentration and confidence, and most importantly, they were happy that Buddha visited our city. So let me go into details of the stanzas. Whatever treasures is here and beyond, or precious jewel in the heaven, none is equal to the Buddha. In the Buddha is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. Simply it says that Buddha is not equal to any of those material gems in this world or in divine world. If we collect all gems and golds and jewelries made by golds and gems into one place, so Buddha is still valuable than those things. Why? Buddha is telling us how we should develop our mind, how we should disregard the greed, hatred and illusion. Most importantly, by saying those good and bad, he shows us the path for peace and happiness. That's why Buddha is so respected for the last 25 centuries. There is no human who are respected in this manner. We can see that Jesus Christ is there, such a compassionate one, and Buddha is so respected too because of this passionless life. So it is said here that Buddha is so important for me, even greater than those jewelries, gems and golds in the world. Therefore, Buddha is considered, to me especially, the one who reflect is a gem. By this truth, may there be well-being for you. So you think about the Buddha's greatness in a simple way or in a deep way as much as you can, and make it a resolution or a wish that by the power of this truth, may you be well, happy and peaceful. That's how we, in the first place, we create blessing and then we give it to somebody. We wish well-being and happiness of somebody. That's how we develop blessings within and share it with others. That's the first stanza. And the second one, not in the discourse, but I mean the first stanza that described the qualities of the Buddha, and the second one is about the Dhamma. The calm, Sakyan sake found in cessation, dispassion, the deathless, the sublime. There is nothing equal to that state. So the Sakyan sake means the Buddha. Buddha was born to Sakyan family. Therefore, he is called later as Sakyan sake, the one who came from Sakyan. So the Buddha found cessation, dispassion, deathlessness and the supreme qualities. At the time he tried his best for searching truth through meditation, and also at the time he attained enlightenment, he completed his journey to nirvana, enlightenment. It means he found some sort of powerful experiences in his mind, such as deathlessness, dispassion and cessation. he is not passionate for anything material. He is not passionate for anything immaterial. He has let go of desire, attachment to everything. This is the nature of nirvana or enlightenment. So every such things, are included in the Dhamma. Therefore, in the Dhamma is this precious jewel. By this truth may there be well-being. The one who take this second stanza basically think about that Dhamma is so supreme because it teaches dispassion, cessation, and also deathlessness. Therefore, I revere the Dhamma by this truth. When he or she recite by this truth, by my observation, if it has some sort of merits, by that power, may you be well, happy and peaceful. So, next one, that purity praised by the Supreme Buddha called concentration with immediate results. This concentration has no equal. So, Buddha talks about the concentration. What is the Pali word for concentration anyway? It is samadhi. Samadhi. එතකොට samadhi is one of the highest gaining in Buddhism. One of the highest achievement in Buddhism. It is not comparable to any of samadhi levels in other teachings. That's why Buddha praised here the samadhi, the concentration. It purifies our mind. It gives immediate results. So if you have successfully meditated, and I hope you experience some sort of samadhi, and it is so gorgeous, and our mind is super calm, and we can see some sort of relaxation in the body as well. So that gives immediate results. If you practice the principles as the Buddha said and maintain your daily life, gaining samadhi is not that difficult, friends. So that is so nice and calm. So it is in the Dhamma as well. Let's take Dhamma as an umbrella, and under the umbrella, this samadhi, concept of samadhi is talked about. So therefore, I venerate the Dhamma by this truth. May there be well-being. That is what this stanza is repeating over and over again. Now we discuss the qualities of the Buddha in one stanza, and in two stanzas we talk about the importance of Dhamma and the power of the Dhamma. From now, we could find many stanzas in the discourse talk about the Sangha, the community of monks and nuns, even some sort of lay people. Why do I say that? When we call Sangha, originally it means those who have attained to the path of the first level of enlightenment, and also those individuals who attain to a certain level of enlightenment. It could be bhikkhus, it could be female ordained disciples such as bhikkhunis, and then male and female lay followers. Anyone who attain to a particular enlightened state are called Sangha. So Buddha talks about the qualities of each of them. He doesn't mention any particular name here, but when we take the Sangha as a whole, Buddha said they have these qualities. Let's take these stanzas quickly. The 8 persons praised by the Buddha, these 4 pairs are the gift worthy. So Buddha's disciples are categorized into 8. Who are the 8? Those who practice noble principles to gain the first level of enlightenment are in the first category. The second category is those who have reached to the level, fruition of the first level of enlightenment, which we call Sotapanna. Then there are four fruition and four path. Those who are in four pathways and those who have attained to fruition level consist 8 individuals. So we can see in this order of Sangha 8 individuals. So Buddha said all of these 8 individuals are very wholesome and sublime and worthy of respect, worthy of gift. That's why a lot of people, most of the people, cook food and bring for monks because they believe that giving dana to monks and nuns, even people who are recognized in this into this level are respected with that way, because the meritorious powers the giver receives is so high. So Buddha said here that all these are disciples of the well-gone Buddha on the Noble Eightfold Path, and they are at the gift somebody give them produce so much merits. Because of this reason, Sangha, the community of monks and nuns, and also those super intelligent lay people, it is called gem. By this truth may there be well-being, and that way of giving and receiving blessing is produced at the end of each stanza. With mind well established, free from sense pleasures, firm in Gautama's teaching, on attaining their goal they plunged into deathlessness, freely enjoying the perfect peace they have gained. So it is said in a way that those who have come to this order as monks and nuns practice the Dhamma with so much interest and effort. As a result, they were able to free themselves from the attachment, from the suffering. So their task is done. They have done whatever they promised to do. So they are now free. They are enlightened people. Friends, once you cross over one boundaries, they are all mental boundaries. You do not want to worry about coming back, because your mind has completely transformed. Suppose you eat a very bad food and you were eating it, you were putting it into your mouth not knowing how bad it is, but you came to know as it is bad as soon as you put it into the mouth. Do you take it for the second time in a later day? No, you know how bad that taste is, how bad smell that food is. So you are not going to take it. Likewise, if you turn your mind into a very refined, solid, advanced state, you do not go down. Your mind has remain there completely in a strong way. That's how the enlightenment states are. So those who willingly started their practice on the Noble Eightfold Path definitely received their confirm their enlightened states, and also free themselves from suffering. So this is giving us an encouragement that if we practice the Dhamma accordingly, we also could somehow manage all these things and also cross over the suffering and attain peace and happiness. So because of this reason too, Buddha said that whole Sangha community is called gem. The gems are not valuable, but this group of Sangha, group of people who have freed from attachment, is worthy of everything. by this truth may there be well-being. So you always make a wish. Then as a post firmly grounded in the earth cannot be shaken by the four winds, so is the superior person, I say, who definitely see the noble truth. So very nice statement is given here. What is that? Just like the post, well grounded, cannot be shaken by the wind. Suppose the CN Tower, right? It's a very strong pillar like things, building, and even if the wind blows from different direction, that is not shaken. It is very solid, it's very powerful. So Buddha take that example here to show how solid the one who has reached to the understanding of the Four Noble Truths. You know what are the Four Noble Truths? The first one, the Noble Truth of suffering, the Noble Truth of arising of suffering or the causes of suffering. In that we talk about the tanha or the craving or greed. And the third one, being able to stop suffering. There is a state of our mind that we could completely destroy craving and ignorance and bring our mind to a super state called Nibbana. That is talked about in the third noble truth. And the fourth one is about the path that leads to the cessation of suffering. So these are the Four Noble Truths. So the one who reached to this level of understanding is just like that post which is not shaken by the wind. It means that if we are able to understand the Four Noble Truths, we are unshaken by anything. These days we have coronavirus. Everyone, irrespective of their properties, the position in the societies, everybody is shaken by this. Everybody is in a doubtful situation whether I die or not, whether I get this virus or not, isn't it? The whole so-called modern world is in fear now. But those who have understood what is life and what is suffering, and suffering arises in this way, and we can take measures to stop suffering by following this and that, these people are strong. They do not fear of dying because they know what life is, and it starts because of some reason, and it exists depending on some reason, and there is a day that it departs from us. The life has that nature. So people who have understand the Four Noble Truths come to this decision. That's why they are unshaken by any unlucky things happen in the society, and even if they are disregarded by the society, they do not worry about it because they have something to rely on. They have seen the truth of this life and around and the entire world. Therefore, their understanding is so strong. So Buddha said here that this Sangha, not one person, but many people, even bhikkhus and bhikkhunis and lay people, understand Four Noble Truths as they are. Therefore, they are not shaken by anyone, by anything. They have let go of their properties, they have let go of their belongings. They do not cry because of this loss and that lost, and because of this and that. So their state of peace is strong, unshakable. That is what said. By the power of this truth of Sangha, may there be well-being. The next one, those who comprehend the noble truths, well taught by the Buddha of deep wisdom, even if they were slightly negligent would not take an 8 existence. So again, this stanza is related to the previous stanza. Uh, this stanza is also talking about someone who has confirmed their enlightenment into a certain extent. Those who have comprehend the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths taught by the Buddha, and those who understand the Four Noble Truths may do some wrong things, but they are not very severe. Those who have attained to Sotapanna, the first stage of enlightenment, can do some mistake, can do some violation, but they are not very strong. What is significant here is that even if they do some mistake and become negligent, they cannot go beyond 7 births. You know what, in Buddhism we say that beings die here and reborn in another place depending on their karma. If they do not stop their rebirth karma force, they might reborn again and again and again. So that's how one travel in this life cycle, one after the other. But this person who understands the Four Noble Truth into a very deep way, reborn in another life, maximum 7th. It doesn't mean that every person who attains to Sotapanna goes to that far, but maximum is 7. There is no nature for this man or this woman or that person who attain to Sotapanna go beyond that level. It is a certainty. We have Sangha in this Sangha members in this order like that. Therefore, we call them gems-like people. By the power of this truth, may there be well-being. So that's what it said there. Then for one who has attained to vision, 3 states are at once abandoned. What are these? View of self, doubt, and clinging to needless rituals and rules. So those who have entered to this noble path, which we call vision or philosophy, destroy 3 fetters. Friends, I'm not sure whether you remember or not. We discussed 10 defilement or fetters in the Buddha's teaching, and everyone has these 10 unless they are they attain to enlightenment. So in the attainment of enlightenment, we have to destroy all these 10 to make sure the full enlightenment. Those who attain to first stage of enlightenment cut off only 3 fetters, and they have to do practice just to eradicate the rest of the taints or defilement. In number, there are 7. So it is said here that those who have that type of mentalities cut off or destroy 3 fetters. What are these? Self-view, Sakkaya Ditthi. Then doubts. This is called skeptical doubt. And then clinging to wrong or needless rules and rituals. These are the 3 things we all should break in the first place. Self-view. We have ego mind, right? Anything not unpleasant to happen, we become upset, and anything pleasant to happen, we overjoy. That is because of self-view, and we all try safeguard us from various things. That is because of self-view. Self-view is really negative. If we can develop self-view, and we can destroy that as well. So our idea is to diminish the level of self-view day by day, practice by practice, effort by effort, because it is harmful for us. So with self-view, doubt arises. Doubt means I don't know whether there are set principles that one should follow in order to gain happiness, but people are doubtful about it. Sometimes people have to do good, people, come across some good things, but they do not become a part of it because of too many doubts. Too many doubts. So when you are, when you sometimes you think of giving some donations to a needy people, but immediately some thought arise in you negatively. I should not give this. So that type of things happen because of the doubt. Let's think about the doubt-free situation then. When there is a doubt-free situation, we feel relaxed. We do not worry about anything negative. It is so peaceful. So self-view is feeding doubts, and both of these negative qualities give birth to wrong practices and rituals. When you are not clear about what you need to be doing, you will hang on to some rituals without any mean. Let me tell you one example. People understand that this life is under suffering. No matter what we have, it experiences old age, sicknesses and death. So having fed up with these uh, consequences of life, let's say one person go to the river and sink, die down, and then worship the sun, worship the trees and worship the water, just because he thinks that by this practice I could be away from all kind of suffering. We know that it doesn't happen, because until he clears his mind from ignorance, greed, hatred, there is no such peace happen to him. So believing on that kind of rituals is wrong. That is what this particular fact means here. So the one who entered to the noble path, practice the Dhamma at a point he or she realized that this is true. It means that you clearly see the noble Four Noble Truth. Then you would be able to destroy self-view, skeptical doubt, and wrong practices and rituals. As a result, you confirm your enlightenment. If you attain to Sotapanna, there is a certainty there. There is a guarantee there that you do not reborn in unhappy places. Maximum births are 7. Within that 7 life cycle, you do not reborn as a ghost, you do not reborn as a demon, you do not go to hell, you either become a humans or divine beings. At some point, if your effort was so strong, you would be attaining enlightenment in the next birth. So, and he does not do 6 wrong things, no matter how dangerous to his life, he does not do, or she does not do these 6 wrongdoings. What are the 6 wrongdoings one Sotapanna does not do? Killing his own mother, killing his own father, and killing an enlightened being. Then making schism among the Sangha. Sometimes people break peaceful people into two. People make people, enemies, but this person doesn't do it at any cost. And he never shed the blood from the Buddha's body. Actually, there was a monk who damaged to the Buddha, and he make Buddha injured. So there are no such things happen from this person who attained to first level of enlightenment. And the last one, the 6th one, is he never changed the principle he follow. Now he is clear about what he is doing, and nobody can change him. Nobody can change his minds uh, from this dhamma to another. So these are the six things he never violate. So then Buddha has said that there are such people in the Sangha, therefore Sangha is a precious jewel. By this truth, may I be well, may you be well, and so forth. So now time has come to stop the class for today. We have some more stanzas. I think you have the discourse and also the translation with you now. I appreciate you read it and understand the meaning as much as you can. Taking a couple of minutes, I want to say something very important. This discourse is recited by monks at each temple and lay people at their houses these days, because the pandemic is going around and the virus is damaging us. Just like the Buddha did at the Vaisali city hall, monks do it just to develop our mind. When we think about the Buddha and such Dhamma and the noble Sangha, noble people like we discussed, they are full of qualities. When we think about them, the noble triple gem, our mind associate noble qualities. It is just like you think about something positive and your mind doesn't want to think about negative at the same time. So our mind associate only one particular thought process at a time. So if we are able to keep our mind on the Buddha, on the perception of the Dhamma and also the Sangha, our mind will become slowly compassionate and kind. And at the end of each stanza, we say, by this truth, by the power of this noble truth, may these people who suffer from COVID-19 become free from that pain. May they be well, happy and peaceful. Isn't that so nice? You have a base to think. So that's why we recite this discourse. I hope we all can do it. Finally, I just want to make a invitation for you to accept. What is that? We saw how much suffering going on in this universe today. Throughout this period, many people die. They never thought that kind of things happen to their life. How tiny this virus is. It is invisible, but it could dismantle superpowers and millionaires, billionaires. No matter which status they have in the society, this virus could attack. Are we stable in this life? All the time, I think when I watch the news in YouTube and in the television, how tiny and helpless human beings are. Still people, create anger, hatred over others. Why? Are these people go to live forever? No. As wise people, at this moment, we have to understand that greed, hatred, ignorance should be abandoned immediately. They are more dangerous than COVID-19 virus. These negative forces kill you not only now, but for the entire cycle of samsara. So think about it. If you let go of virus like greed, hatred and ignorance sooner, you are not afraid of dying because your mind is happy, you are in happiness. So my invitation for you to take this social distancing period to practice letting go of, or generosity, kindness, compassion. If you are caught by your own greedy actions and tied into a knot-like things, untie it, let go of greed, free yourself, be a compassionate human being. This is the message we could give to you today from the Buddha's teaching. I know many of those people who listen to this statement are well aware of this fact, and they have been cultivating these qualities throughout their life. But what you can do for the sake of human society, give this message to them. Now, a lot of people suffer from loneliness and frustration. Some people fight now because they are living together. How bad this human society. They were complaining of not having any relationship with their children, husband, wife, parents because of work. Now they have, a life that they could use for, reciprocate, living together. Still they complain. Now the problem they have, living together. So friends, if you fill your mind with craving, greed, there is no satisfaction at all. Even if you have everything in the universe, then you would be complaining that I have everything, that is the problem I have. So do not go behind anything and everything in this world. Just stay in a simple life, because this life is going to end one day. We do not know whether I have COVID-19 and you have COVID-19, but we are happy because we have been spending very good life. That is the silver line for us to hang on to even in this difficult period. So having said that, I would like to conclude today's virtual Dharma class. I hope you stay home for us, and that is what we expect. And when we know that you are safe, it brings us happiness, and we sitting here meditate for you and bless you and your family members who are here with you and who are far away from you. And we wish the entire world, especially those people who suffer from pain and fear and dismay, and wish them happiness. And we make a special blessings to doctors, nurses, medical attendants, and those people who provide medicine and who work for the well-being and happiness. May they be well, happy and peaceful. Like the Buddha said to divine beings, come and help these innocent people. We make a wish and also request to divine being, holy people in the holy living beings in the universe, come and help the entire world to come out of this suffering. May the entire world be well, happy and peaceful. So that's the end of today's class. I wish you good night. May you have a productive and blessed day tomorrow. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.